Okay, so we got the zinger motor here. Started leaking a little bit of oil. Mom's not going to be too happy considering it's in basement kitchen and the house is for sale, so it's going to smell like oil, but you know what? She's got to get torn apart. So we're just going to take this off first. The crank, like inside the motor, is starting to look better now that it's defogged. So I'm thinking about putting a ratchet on there. See if I can break it free. I mean, I know I shouldn't just break it free, and if there's no crunchy noises run it, but I'm not always the smartest. Oh, it's got a little bit of play already. See that? Let me see if the camera's got a good angle. It's okay. Camera's okay. So I think what would be best to do is put a socket on that nut and turn it to the right so it doesn't just break free. Like the nut doesn't just break free. Hopefully we break the crank free. Good enough. Oh, was that fucking... I loosened it off. Shit. Oh! It's moving. Look at all the dirt that just came out of the motor. Oh my god. But now it's free. I mean, I might be able to, what I'm thinking is if I fill it up with oil, here, honestly, it doesn't look like too much water ever got in the motor because the bottom of the crank isn't rusty. Like, it was locked up right around here, and then the very bottom ain't rust. Oh, that means, I mean, it's whatever. It's leaking oil. I have no idea why. I think it's because that breather, it's just the motor's upside down. So, it might be better that we did this because now I don't have to tear apart a whole motor inside of my house. I don't have heat in my garage. That's why I took it inside, and I took all these tools out here expecting to split the cases, but you know what? I mean, to be fair, I could always just replace it with a PW50 motor afterwards. Like, say if something happens, damaged, because I don't actually do the proper thing to do, it's okay, because I can just go out and get a PW50 motor. So it's still got a little bit of resistance, but I'm thinking if we just, if we rest it like kind of like this and just fill up the whole thing with 2-stroke oil, or maybe even diesel fuel, and then 2-stroke oil to lubricate all the bearings again, I think we'd be fine. There's absolutely no up and down play in the crank, and there's barely any side to side, which my PW80 side to side was literally hitting here and here. So I don't even know how that's possible. They must have larger cranks, but this one doesn't hit the crank itself, and then there's absolutely zero up and down play. Right, you guys would be hearing a little bit of a knock with me moving it up and down, and there's nothing. Yeah. Just shaking some of the dirt out of the crankcase, you know, normal stuff. That came out of the crankcase, I think. Okay. I mean, this motor. Oh, what's going on now? Is it just that? Something just locked up again. Maybe the cases do need to be split. I mean, you can throw the recoil back on here and just keep turning it over and see if it smoothens up. Does our recoil work? Honestly, I feel like this motor has really low hours. And then someone just figured they should do a top end. They took the top end off, never finished it. And then my buddy's dad bought it and just left it sit with no top end outside. Because he couldn't find OEM parts. He probably wanted to restore it because he used to have like 50 fully restored vintage dirt bikes because he was never able to afford them when he was a kid, and then he ended up, like every single dirt bike he ever wanted, he ended up buying and restoring. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a PW50 motor, so I can always replace it if I need to. Hold on. Oh, it's because the nut loosened off. I was like, what the hell? It's still rough, but I think just blowing it with the compressor and then fill it with diesel, slush it around, then fill it with two-stroke oil so the bearings can soak, and then I think we're good to go. All this stuff works, right? I think it's hard to do because the way it kind of has like I wouldn't call it a friction clutch, but it has to be moving decently fast. It has to be decently high RPMs for the output shaft to move. So you hear that, I can hear it squeaking, which I feel like that's one of the, oh shit, it splashed a ton of stuff on me. Yep, nothing for up and down, a little bit of side to side. Oh man, I think I can order a top end kit for it. Worst case scenario, it's just a PW50 big bore kit, so I'll end up putting it on my fucking friend's bike. Like if this motor ends up it's no good and I've already ordered a top end kit, I'll just put the top end kit on my buddy's PW50, because then it'll be 60cc instead of 50. Because we were looking at it and we believe it has a Chinese top end on it already. So top end kit's 80 bucks. And then, like, and that includes, so I would buy an actual big bore kit for this, which is about $110, and it's name brand. But it just comes with a cylinder and then piston and everything. And then top end rebuild kit, 80 bucks. Comes with cylinder, piston, and head, and then obviously everything else you need. So that's what's good about a lot of these older machines, the Yamaha PWs and any four-stroke Honda 3WHEELER. They sell top end kits with cylinder, piston, and head for extremely cheap. Once you get to the bigger Honda 3WHEELERs, like any that have valves that are 4-strokes, they get to like $130 to $150, but that's still really cheap for a piston, cylinder, and head, and it comes with the cams and all the valves and everything, so good deals. My buddy ordered one back when he had his 200M that I sold him, and it never came in. It's still stuck at the border, and he ordered it last summer because of all this COVID stuff, so hopefully that don't happen to me. But guess I brought all these tools out here for no reason. Someone has already been inside this motor, I know that for sure. Or at least, I guess they rebuilt the recoil one. I guess that's what happened. They probably just rebuilt the recoil because these screws were already a little bit stripped. And now it won't turn over again. Oh, there we go. So it's a bit rough, obviously, but I think it's worth it to try to put diesel fuel down there to flush it out, and then fill it with 2-stroke oil. I think it'll be fun. But see, our oil's leaking out up here somewhere. Where exactly is it coming from? I didn't bring any of my shop towels in here. Okay. I remember before, I figured it was leaking out of here, but it doesn't seem like there's any oil inside of there. Maybe it's leaking out of there? Could be leaking out of this little cover right here. Oh, does that mean we have a bad seal? Looks like someone already tried to take this off. Huh. Somebody stripped out this screw really badly. So, and I don't have a lot of my tools I don't have a lot of my tools in the house, so we are going to just use vice grips. There we go. Came out no problem with the vice grips, and like I said, I don't have anything in here, so I'm just going to reuse this. I'm going to put it back in with the vice grips, because what you see is what I have. No parts, no other tools, because I'm inside. What is the point of that? Why? Why would you do that? Is it just a wear cover? Must be. Okay, let's see if there's actually oil in it. I doubt it, but, I mean, oil's coming out somehow, so there's gotta be something in here, right? Oh, that oil actually... Why does that oil actually look good? Maybe no water got into this part of the motor. That oil actually looks really good for some reason. I feel like the seal right here is fine. I don't think this really needs anything. And it must have just been leaking because we had the motor upside down. And it must have came out of some kind of vent. I'm thinking about taking this cover off right here so I can see if that vent came from up here. That vent line, kind of like this. This is very similar to it, except it was longer and it wasn't connected to the chassis in any way. I took out the motor and that thing just fell. So I'm not sure if I should or not. I think, you know what, I'm not gonna do it because Buddy has a PW50, which is the exact same motor, and I can just tell from that. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna get a little bit of oil from inside the motor. Don't judge me, I don't have anything out here. Just rub it on this so it seals properly later on, instead of it cracking when I put it back in or whatever. I guess I'm gonna take this off just so I can see what it looks like inside. I might be able to see something from in here. Oh my god. Well, I guess we probably aren't doing that unless I don't think anything. I don't think any of these are wider. I'm going to pull out the flathead and yeah, bang this into there. It's all falling, man. It's not so far. Yeah, we might have to just. We might have to just leave that for now. Oh, exhaust port. Oh no, that would be on the cylinder. I don't know why the intake's even back here instead of being on the cylinder. But everything seems to be working now except for those bearings being extremely squeaky. Yeah. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a bit of a short video unless it's already long. I might do some editing, but I probably don't have to. Pretty boring, but we did manage to get it freed up. And you know what, maybe I'll just wait till maybe I won't upload it until I put some diesel fuel and oil in there, and then you'll be able to see all that. I'm using the GoPro today, so sorry if it's a bit worse quality, but I didn't have a way to set up my phone so you could see what I was doing because I thought I would split the cases. But yeah. Okay, I'll see you either in the next part or when I fill it with diesel and oil. Why is it upside down? Okay, well the camera is upside down for some reason, but let me see. That is so weird. Okay, guess I'll just hold it upside down. Oh god, wait. So, as you can see right here, turns out these two holes, this one and this one, are threaded. I had no idea they were. So that might solve the problem of all the oil leaking out. Hopefully. It's obviously a bigger screw than this, but this one does thread in. This one actually belongs over here. But yeah, that might solve our problem of oil leaking out. I'll just have to find some screws that fit in there. So yeah, just wanted to let y'all know that before I start doing more. I'll just leave it how it is for now. I'll probably end up draining the oil out and then just leaving these how it is until I get cranks, the bearings figured out and everything. But yeah. Okay, so fucking buddy's over there working on the P-dub. But I drained it out with some mixed gas because I didn't have any diesel, and then I filled it up with oil. I had it filled to the brim, but it's been slowly leaking out.
And it sort of kind of like black people.
But yeah, some of the noises, it's starting to get quieter. It's not as much as we're clicking anymore, but there's still a little bit of noise, but it's gonna sit until I get a top end most likely. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in part 3. It'll be a while until it's out, but yeah.